I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're...
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here.
What can you tell me?
It's the only...
Why is...
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore.
I still enjoy living in London.
Then I am sincerely happy.
What can you tell me about...
He's old.
Is that all?
Pericles is very...
Who are you waiting for, exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. Have you ever... At least...
Goodbye. Good evening, sir.
Dr. Reed?
Is there anything...
No, it's just... Your name sounds...
I think I would remember.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name...
I'm afraid not, sir.
The...
And what do you...
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
Tell me more.
I just... don't belong.
But what were you doing before?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems...
Can you tell me?
As you like asking...
Please.
Do you like...
I know we are not...
Yes, me too. This...
But what if we don't?
Do we ever know who we are?
Pericles.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes.
What can you tell me?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should...
That's it?
For the time being.
At least...
But is that not...
Tell
We are waiting...
And why?
Because we...
Why do you want...
I'm not...
Who are you?
I really can't answer that question.
And why?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's...
Well...
Goodbye.
Hello again.
Goodbye.
die too in this war.
Good evening, sir. Please
I
forgive.
never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are...
Well, I must.
Welcome, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
Are you that blind? I've seen hundreds of...
Mr. Reed, please.
Is it not a...
On the contrary.
But what...
Please.
So you prefer...
Oh,
I may have...
Only the first step.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Good evening. We repel the intruders.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here!
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Yes, she is. I may even say I admire her probity and her kindness. She has helped me since I was reborn.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Guard of Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept,
Please ask.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours. Sent to cleanse the East.
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
What does it mean?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Am I supposed to follow?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
What is the Ascalon Club's express?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign Ekons.
Good evening,
This
Dr.
is an
Reed.
outrage.
How does it feel to be this evening's...
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to...
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing...
May I ask?
Why would you...
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah. Vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you...
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Are you a member of...
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years.
Are you...
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly...
What can you...
It's not really...
What can you tell me,
I would not dare speak of a...
Mr. Dawson? of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to...
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson?
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine.
I'm sorry to...
Absolutely not. I'm here.
What is the situation?
I am sure Lord Redgrave...
What do you...
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment.
But they are our end.
They are not...
Would you have...
No. There is a time for such methods. But you're right.
What?
Quarantine...
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos.
Not if we eliminate all suspect...
Are you not mistaking sacrifice?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Remove...
I'm sure you have more important things to do than talking with an old man like myself.
That went well, did it not?
You have the makings of a general.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish.
Does it bother you that I consider...
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner work...
You were...
Not personally. I rarely leave this building.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served...
No, I mean, what was he?
No. He was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know...
Yeah.
Will you bear ill will towards me for...
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion...
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Skulls are malevolent and disgusting creatures.
I knew I was right to induct you, Dr. Reed. You would not dare lie to me on such a vital topic now, would you?
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club, and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I would... Sired by an ancient vampire.
Good evening.
Dr. Reed. Oh, fuck.
Please, don't...
Good.
Do you need... I will... Good.
Why can't I forgive you, Father?
Only the first step.
Good evening, Miss Anne.
And good.
I'm
A
investigating.
few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys. A nice family.
Good.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Best be moving on.
Steady, boys! Die, vermin!
I'm investigating.
Infection.
And where in...
West of the park.
I must... Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan.
I'm sure you can...
Of course you may in. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too?
How is...
Probably outside. Chased
I'm investigating...
the McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their own house.
They could just be afraid.
Perhaps you're right.
Venus, why do you worry so...
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
How have you been since the last time we met?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved.
Yes, and it's all...
Have you not...
You mean
Thank you, Venus.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but, you know, it's...
There's no need to apologize, my dear.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny...
Why is my return so...
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise.
Goodbye.
I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son. They were such a beautiful
It's locked.
What? You know that you are always welcome here.
Good evening.
I won't.
I'm investigating the...
Infection is everywhere.
Yes?
Not enough noise for a big family.
You need...
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for? I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution? So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher.
Steady, boys, we've got
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage. He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school. Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school.
Hello. You know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night?
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew. Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this mess. But who?
Hello, Venus.
Hello. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
Who are you? What are you doing?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I appreciate the invitation, but I'm here to solve the mystery concerning the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
What are you
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate...
You take
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was
What do you plan?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy...
And who?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service.
You're French, but you're English.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing.
Dear...
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
I followed the trail of blood.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes.
So you admit you...
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can...
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but... I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
Her body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
I believe you, sir.
Oh, Emily was a...
Yes.
And so can you. Farewell.
Good evening, Miss.
And good evening.
I have found out.
I can handle the truth.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire.
My mother told me...
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure to become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood?
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy.
Over there! There's one of them vermin! Place for a
He's
stroll.
dead! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
I will return at a more convenient time. It's locked.
A leech! A leech!
Get them weapons ready! We found one! Die, vermin!
It ain't human! Kill him! He's done for!
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but look.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Many can testify to her kindness and beauty. For now she hides in shadow, ugly as sin. Who are you? You who dared enter my realm? Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. Woe and hear and obey, for your queen. Behold, Kinslayer, the race of sheep once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum.
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection, while I continue my research during the Great... Return later. These people want me dead. I need to leave now. So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to inflict contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
best be moving on. See them fancy clothes? It's one to the top! Fucking beast! You leeches! You kill it! I'll kill it! He's on to us! Want some of this? Die! Over there! This way! Oh God!
What news, Jonathan? I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
I may have found a
Really?
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant...
Oh, she was a beauty.
Have you heard of...
No, I don't think so.
What was it?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed.
How's the situation?
We're still holding...
Have you...
Yes, she popped in yesterday.
Just a curtain?
Yes. And no. She was en route to the...
I'll come...
Always...
Good evening. Soldier.
Not really.
As long...
Don't think you...
Goodbye.
Damn. The pain. Here again.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need an...
I'm afraid
That's
easy.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
I'm quite...
Do you need...
Don't be...
Then you...
I wish that...
Thank...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening.
Do you...
Do you know?
Just...
Well, at least...
Goodbye, Mrs. Goss. Good evening. Is there...
Really?
Goodbye for now.
Always need the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Good.
Do you need...
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most...
Don't...
And that is a good...
Goodbye. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require...
I will be fine, as soon as I can get some sleep.
No.
I'll try.
Goodbye.
Look at it! Fish bugger! Let's pin him! Over there! There's one of them!
I'm not your...
Do you need...
Please.
Very fun.
Goodbye.
This elixir will give you faith again.
I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind. Can't you just look the other way this week?
Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So,
I'm not
do you...
Yes, I did.
I'm not... Good.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Good evening.
Change.
Do you need...
It.
I'm...
Forgive me.
Goodbye.
Soon the time will come when you will all be judged for your sins. Even now,
How am I supposed to... Good evening. How... And you're not... Empty. Goodbye, man. Good... Do you... That would be... If... Thank you. Goodbye.
As long as you have the money. Its effectiveness has been proven.
Elizabeth.
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my...
But it's you who insisted I join.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the...
You certainly have an
And the same...
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of...
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told.
But some...
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London.
Thank you.
Now...
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
As you wish, my lord.
Good.
How would you like me to...
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate.
Before I go...
All right.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like...
Don't worry. Aloysius is...
Is there any
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been
So shall I...
Yes.
You invited...
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the...
So it's a...
Something of a...
Goodbye.
Understandably, you have...
Goodbye.
Understand...
Good...
Have you heard the rumors of some horned vampire revealing himself and singing obscure songs around the city? What is this new malevolence? We repel the intruders for now. But how long before they return?
Are you all right, Jonathan? I see.
Aloysius Dawson is the...
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's...
Do you really want to know?
I do.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps...
Don't you dare, my dear.
Really?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please, tell me...
As long as...
What would you have...
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you...
The man's dying already.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct?
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but
Why so vindictive?
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker. from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
What?
You,
Maybe I...
Mr.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, my...
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him. Good evening.
Can I help?
Do you need... I have no...
All right then.
Goodbye.
It's always been your house, Dad. Not mine.
Good evening.
I won't.
What can you tell me?
Well, I've discovered.
Do you need...
It's a little...
What can
I hope we...
You...
Support the equality between men.
Stay away! Look lively! It's on to us! Murdering bastard! Better go home, sir. Don't come any fucking club. Oh, sir. Burn it, boys! All of you bloody leaking Kill it! We have to stop it! Die, vermin!
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange, and we are alive. For now, yes, but for how long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already. All right, but where would we go?
Good evening. What can...
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye.
Hello again.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead.
Goodbye.
Dr. Reed, still conducting your nocturnal survey?
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. What has happened to the London that I knew?
Will survive the epidemic. Good evening, Jonathan Reed. Can I help you in any way?
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Goodbye.
I read The Fool and the Empress again. What are the cards?
I cannot enter. Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains, am I ready to make a dying man my progeny? It's locked, all right.
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
I'm the only vampire in the room for now, so please indulge me.
All right, all right. What is it you wish to ask?
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed, and I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London. I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
You don't deserve immortality, Mr. Dawson.
What? What are you prattling on about?
I don't believe I've ever met a man so bereft of empathy. You, sir, are despicable.
No! Wait! You can't! I made a deal with Lord Redgrave. I'll finance whatever he wants. Please, just ask him.
Sleep now. Rest now. Forever.
I would have lived forever. Who are you to decide my fate? Who gave you the authority?
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn as expected?
Alas, Aloysius Dawson was not brought back to life after his death. The man is gone.
What? What happened?
I could not let such a dangerous man become immortal. Not from my blood, not for you.
This is an outrage beyond words. This is betrayal, pure and simple. I should kill you on the spot. You swore on William Marshall's blood.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget. What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait!
I'm listening.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She
What? What?
Has...
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you?
Because I used to know him quite well. And he is...
You're Elizabeth's informant.
Yes.
No.
I shall return to...
Tell her...
Do not. For she has had strength and wit...
Go, please. I don't have your money.
Don't you know better?
Well, 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 traitor. Show me how you defeated Virgil Puncher!
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
Good evening, Doc.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital was attacked.
Unfortunately, violence can be a necessary evil, sir. I volunteered, joined the army to serve the Empire, sir. But attacking a hospital... shame.
What do you mean?
A hospital should be a...
Good.
Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? Looks like he's wounded. I better follow the blood.
Ultraviolet curtains and orichalcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for one.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster just like William Marshall did.
No! I'm trying to put an end to it! Just like you are!
You're its progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. I know! The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me. Come on, Reed. We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I'm not saying we could be friends, you and I. But perhaps we could collaborate to put an end to this epidemic.
Never! We are Priwen. We do not negotiate. We do not compromise.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now. For there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I'll make you a vampire. I'll make you one of us.
No! Kill me!
Prepare yourself, Hunter. You're about to be hunted, just like me.
No! No!
When I kissed my poor Mary goodbye, I had no idea what I was doing. But now I do. Consider this my kiss of Judas. through the looking glass.
So Priwen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters. It's locked. I cannot enter. It's locked. Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence. It's locked, all right. Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Geoffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the
I never imagined that
I put him in a somewhat delicate...
Really?
Time will tell.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding. William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for...
What can you tell?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother, a symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
Right, I admit it. I boldly ventured into experimental realms, but I've killed no one to appease my thirst for knowledge, Jonathan. I'm no murderer.
I never asked to become what I am, Edgar. You chose to conduct your rogue experiments.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!
I cannot enter.
Freeman shall prevail!
I'll return later. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood.
He's on to us!
I must tell Elizabeth.
Stupid bitch! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him, or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar's behavior was beyond lunacy. He had neither the discipline, knowledge, nor the proper facilities to conduct blood experiments.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected.
Then we have no choice.
I have one more.
There is a tone.
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh, God.
Elizabeth. Are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone.
Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth! Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster.
Die!
I think I know where to find what I need.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
London has brought so much pain. Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me. I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I'll have to. Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance.
Good. We've held out the
blood.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand...
This is more important than the club, you, or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my...
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant.
It's always been your house, Dad. Not mine.
Women die too in this war! Women of all countries unite! Support the equality between men and women!
Nobody takes him seriously.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top!
I won't end up another... Drunk arsehole littering streets.
Get them weapons ready! Find one! Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! Easy does it, boys! We can deal with this. Christ, he's dead! Christ, he's dead!
If McCullum really drank the blood of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital ingredient for my recipe.
Good evening, Vampire Hunter.
Are you here to mock me, Reed?
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really?
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you?
I need the antidote to save this.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must.
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Jonathan Emmett Reed.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick...
Thank you.
Indeed.
Why are you...
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was the...
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Prewin. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
How are you adapting?
I feel so powerful it gives me shivers. I could be the greatest vampire hunter ever. Your worst nightmare, in truth.
Will you leave the Guard?
Are we not creatures of deceit? I could hide.
Will you?
Not for now. But you had better bet.
Fair.
Do not
Hello again.
Hello.
Fair.
Do not.
This one's mine! Burn it, boys! Oh yeah! There's one of them vermin! The power of the Lord commands!
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage. It's locked, all right. There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu. The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
Jonathan, my...
Thank me.
Come now, you know what I mean. I am... well...
Making you my progeny was supposed to...
Don't worry, I know. From time to time, I even experience...
Will you continue as...
Of course. I can help more than ever. And since I'm already dead, I can't get sick.
Are you not afraid Priwen will find...
I remain a man of peace.
Have you seen...
No. And...
What about the brother?
I remain a member. I have information to provide now.
They won't...
Not so long.
How do you feel since...
Absolutely fine. Did you know I can determine the health of every patient or nurse just by looking at...
Have you...
Don't you think that's a private matter?
Do you...
Yes. It's very peculiar.
What will you...
Experiment,
My God, Edgar.
I have, I swear. No more experiments on mortals. See? I said mortals. How quickly...
What kind?
Who knows? Nervous shock, brain death...
Goodbye, Edgar. I'm certain we'll meet again.
If only I were young again. Just a dozen years or so.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them! It's an inch! Kill it! Stay back, beast! He's mine! I'll take it! Be strong, brothers! He's mine! I'll take it! Easy does it, boys! Kill it! Oh my God, boys! I'll send It ain't human! Kill it! I'll kill you! Watch it! It's a killer!
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
This place has been ransacked. They've all been slaughtered. Prewin. No, not their style. Where has Harriet gone? She must have left a trail I could follow.
Take not a step further, child, for you are unprepared.
You, at last. I wondered when you would show your face again. Step away. We have nothing to discuss.
Desist, child. You cannot confront the monstrosity unleashed upon this land without due preparation. I shall not allow it.
All right. But no more riddles. Enough of the obscure songs and prophecies. I ask questions, and you answer them.
My words have been as clear as crystal lakes, my child. You seem unwilling to drink, to listen, to learn.
What is your true appearance?
I do not understand. This is who I am.
Blood? You are made of blood. Surely you are joking.
Why would I? And no, I'm not made of blood. I am blood. Blood is what I am since my birth and for eternity.
But who are you really? Tell me your name.
I am your maker. I am the servant of the Red Goddess and protector of this land. I have many names.
Just give me one, then.
There are those who call me Myrddin Wild, the Wild Horned Man. But I never was a man. I was born out of blood.
Why did...
Only you could provide a modern, scientific answer to this ancient, mystical threat.
What kind of...
Disease, contagion, and contamination. How they course through veins is your dominion, my child. Your choices have made you...
Speak to me of this ancient...
The blood of hate. Vessel of the wrath of the goddess. When she awakens, a disaster will be born into this world, for she is hunger.
I'm here to...
I have heard you, but be wary. Harriet Jones's mind is no more. She has metamorphosed into an apocalypse. Born from, drenched in, and driven by the blood of hate.
What it...
It is the curse of the goddess. It is the
Tell me about this.
A disaster is pure.
And...
She is the Red Goddess, the Queen of Blood. In my youth, 100 lifetimes ago, she was worshipped as the Morrigan. She is my mother. She is yours, too.
The Morrigan? The Celtic goddess of war? Is this a ruse of some kind?
She has been worshipped in many forms throughout the ages. The true nature of the Red Queen is beyond your comprehension, eluding even...
So the disaster is some sort of accident. A disease vampires carry dormant in their blood, waiting to emerge.
That's your modern answer. But a disaster is at the same time both less and more.
Tell me what it is then, in your own...
A disaster is the pure will of our...
I only...
To perform an act so noble, you must protect yourself from its poisonous kiss, my child.
I know. McCullum used such a serum when trying to kill me. However, I have produced a more efficacious version of the antidote.
Your final task... Oh.
What will happen thereafter?
Your fate, my child, and the fate...
Will...
Yes.
And then what?
How would I know? I am no god, and your fate...
You tricked me! My sister died!
Very soon you'll come to know that sacrifice... Be brave.
Oh, I'm sick. So sick. Doctor, help me, please. I'm in such pain.
I'll be glad to be of assistance.
Ah, like your help, Doris. Liars! All of you! My poor baby. I've been such a bad mother. But the Queen herself forgave me. Gave me another chance.
Harriet, you must stop all of this. I can't let you infect anyone else.
How dare you interfere with the Red Queen's plans, Doctor? How can you stop the course of nature? I was a good...
Is this a dream? I'm awake. Is this anger I feel? Is it wrath? I think it is. Oh, how infinitely, how intensely, how irredeemably are you all going to suffer now? I will reap the last innocence, abundance of guilt, red the crown.
No one could ever defeat you, mother of us all, for you are our every root and leaf.
You've always been my most amusing son.
Then go back to sleep, my queen. and smile at us from your dreams.
Did they feel my wrath? Have they suffered enough?
More than ever, mother of us all.
Until the next time.
Until the next time.
So it's over then, young Ekon. You have put an end to this terrible menace.
Old Bridget? What are you doing here?
This is my realm, Ekon. This is Suascal territory.
But they were all massacred by the monstrosity that Harriet became.
Others will come, engendered by deceitful vampires. I don't mean you, of course.
I thought you'd been slaughtered, with all the other Suascals.
I was up above, in search of help when Harriet suddenly turned into that thing. I have no idea what it was.
It's over now.
Yes.
No need to...
Perhaps there will be no stories told or songs...
I'm honored to be...
How could I refuse you anything now? I'll answer just as I answered Lady Ashby.
Who are you?
I was born with the name Bridget Eleanor Wellington. In 1738, my beloved and immortal husband decided to preserve my beauty and youth forever by making me drink his blood.
You were Lord Redgrave's wife. Then the pompous...
It was about 200 years ago. Peace found me in time. And I sincerely hope it will find you too, now that all is over.
No, it's not over. I may have ended the vampire epidemic, but I still need answers from the woman I love.
I feared you would say that. Go then, young Ekon, and face your fate. Just remember that I'll always be here for you.
London has been cleansed. This catastrophe came about when an ancient, malignant will crossed paths with mortal imprudence. For now, we are safe. For now. My craving for blood remains. Red like hate, red like hunger, red as life and death, passing from one immortal to another, from predator to victim, patiently biding its time to rise again. London has been cleansed for now, but there's a simmering hatred, fear, and old grudges. When will we succumb, mortals and immortals alike? The next disaster is only a matter of time. My only hope now is to catch the woman I love, to understand why she fled, and unmask the secret that has been lurking in her blood for so long. Well, this is it. Lady Ashbur's domain. Why am I not surprised it's not on any maps? I'd better hurry.
Beautiful morn, my child. It looks like dawn is here.
Can't you just leave me alone?
I am here to say goodbye.
So our beloved mother will just go back to sleep, now that enough people...
No, Jonathan. The Morrigan has been appeased because you dared confront her. You have prevailed, my bitter...
And what are you to her?
She is my mother.
What does she seek?
She seeks nothing, since she only dreams of it.
Why did Harriet...
You are the doctor.
I noticed that all the Icors were female, as if a male couldn't endure the metamorphosis. Harriet was also a bitter and resentful woman, as was her daughter.
If the Morrigan prefers despoiled women to become the vessels of her wrath, we should be thankful that but one disaster hath been cast.
Icors seem to carry various diseases. They did not merely turn people into skulls. Their presence alone spreads...
Who knows whether the Red Queen...
This is...
Tis up.
What? But I'm... What will...
In the...
What will... But look...
No, she...
And you?
I am just here.
Your sons? Plural?
Perhaps I am too old for your spoken language. Perhaps you now have so many subtle words.
Tell me about William.
He is not stronger than you, only older. You are strong, Jonathan Reed. A champion of your time, chosen to defeat a threat spawn of this generation.
Is he here?
Have I not already...
His blood was not tainted. The blood Lord Redgrave possessed. That which I used in the serum.
Then you would have failed, I suppose. For the blood of hate would have corrupted you too.
When he fought me, Geoffrey...
You just said it. It was the blood of a king.
King Arthur was also...
Yes, he was. But he failed in the end. And for centuries the land suffered his defeat.
Who are your sons?
You are my son.
This is madness. How many...
My progeny is scarce, for I rarely feel the urge to protect this land anymore. But yes, one of those you named is your immortal brother.
So that is all we are to you?
No. You...
What did I
Now you've found the castle, Jonathan Reed.
It's locked. The castle walls look decrepit. Maybe I can find a way to sneak in. It's locked, all right. The lady of the manor isn't expecting visitors. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I think I smell Elizabeth's perfume. She must be here somewhere. Like most castles, this one has a crypt. And this castle is falling apart. That sweet fragrance. Elizabeth's perfume. She was here. And recently. This painting looks suspicious. A sword and a moon are the symbols I should look for. One last switch, and... voila.
Drop your... Thing to be afraid of.
Shall we abandon this then? Shall we lower our heads?
No. Never. You taught me that.
Blood is approaching. Old but young. How strange. Shall I drink it? Smite it?
No, Father. He is a friend. Please, rest. I'll take care of it.
Caution, Elizabeth. Deceit runs through these veins.
I know, Father. What took you so long, Jonathan?
Is this really him?
Yes. This is William Marshall, 1st Earl of Pembroke, servant of 5 mortal kings, former regent and savior of England. The greatest knight who ever lived, according to some.
And you called him father?
For he gave me eternal life, and much more.
I have so many questions, Elizabeth.
You always had questions, Dr. Reed.
Now that I stand before you both, in this vault, I know not where to begin.
We still have a few minutes left.
Why did you flee here?
When you told me I was the healthy carrier, I had nowhere else to go.
You mean you had to return to the real source of this scourge?
Yes, to end it.
Where are we?
This is the Ashbury estate. I inherited the title when I purchased the castle.
Is this your retreat? Something of a secret place?
It's more of a sanctuary, really. This is where I take care of my father. Ever since he became unwell.
Are you not afraid someone might discover you here? It's not that hard to find.
Do not assume that I would hesitate to silence...
Will you go?
No, Jonathan.
And what of your daughter?
Charlotte is a strong, independent woman who's about to come into money. I took care of everything. Now it's time for her to shape her future.
I have destroyed the disaster.
Yes. You did well, Jonathan. You truly saved the city.
Yes, we did. Despite all obstacles. I'm truly convinced we did it together, Elizabeth.
I cannot bear knowing I was the cause of all this. Through the use of my own blood.
No. This catastrophe was the result of unethical experimentation. And the will of a creature so inexplicably evil, she exceeds all the terrible wonders I have seen since my death.
But it was my blood all along. My corrupted blood of hate. The poisoned blood of my father. A healthy carrier. That's all I am.
Is he dead?
What do you think? He is a thirsty Ekon, who has not...
No
And yet he thinks he has been offered immortality by the angels, to protect the feeble, and to smite.
Can he
Yes. Sometimes he...
Why?
How could I not take care?
He gave...
Yes. And in doing so...
What do you do?
I visit him as often...
You feed him? You barely sustain yourself on the weak blood of...
After he saved me from the blood rage, I swore I would never kill to feed. He said this.
We could...
It's too late. The blood...
William Marshall infected you?
Yes. But he saved me by sacrificing himself.
Saved you?
The tears of angels. The cleansing of impure blood by an older, more powerful blood. It worked on me, did it not?
Yes.
Blood is the definitive key to our species. Scowls, cleansing, lineage. Do you really think it worked?
It has, Jonathan. I was nothing but a beast who took pleasure in slaughter. I roamed across Europe, reaping my bloody crop. It was the blood of hate. But my father's antidote cured me.
Who are you?
How could I answer that? I went through many lives and identities.
I need to know more. I want to know who you really...
I was born Elizabeth Samantha Mary Englewood in 1551 in Hertfordshire. My parents owned a...
How did you meet William Marsh?
He was an Econ for centuries when he found me. He saved me from certain death by making me his
Why did he...
You should ask.
Did...
Not he...
What about...
What do you mean?
You know my feelings toward...
I love you, Jonathan.
You should have...
No, Jonathan. The William Marshall myth lies at the heart of so many hostile plans.
So why did you come here?
Because I know now the blood of hate is still in my veins.
I can...
I know, Jonathan.
Would your protege agree to speak with me?
Go on, Jonathan.
Yes?
Sir William. My God.
I did in my day. Come closer if you want to speak. For my...
I think your hearing is fine.
What is it you want then?
I found your research on the antidote. The tears of the angels. What in...
Once I understood what the ingredients were,
King Richard and Boadicea.
It took me many years to locate their hiding place.
And did it?
Yes. The tears cleansed.
I found and defeated...
Then may I call you brother? Did you resist its poison?
You also defeated one in 1666.
She was a malicious witch who spread plague throughout the city with her army of rats. She had been hiding in a bakery in Pudding Lane for months when I finally found her.
How did you defeat it?
We fought for hours. In the end, I had to lock her in St. Paul's Cathedral and burn the building down.
The blood of hate. How...
The blood of hate? Yes. Nothing more than a sneak.
I would like...
Vampires.
Considering your experience.
They are terrible creatures. I have seen and fought many in my...
I have never seen such a creature.
Of course you've never seen a creature like...
Where did you encounter such...
The last time I saw one was in a...
Can we speak?
The Red Queen.
You met...
Just once. But she never ceased to sing to me. I love...
Do you know...
I don't want to discuss...
Why?
For a time, she too could hear the Red Song. The steps she danced to its melody.
Do you remember Murden?
Only God is my maker. For he created everything on this earth. He blessed me with eternal life through his archangel, Michael.
But Murden, Michael, is a vampire. He made you a blood-sucking creature of the night.
Blood, yes. I used to drink it from the throats of the unworthy. Then I was punished for my deceit. During my penance, I rely entirely upon my sweet delight.
Tell me.
I do not wish to...
Please, Sir William.
After defeating the disaster in St. Paul's Cathedral, I returned to my retreat, infected. This is where my sweet Elizabeth found me.
Where is...
In London, under Temple Church. Beneath my...
What happened?
The blood of hate had twisted me into a rage-filled man.
You bit her again? Is that...
Elizabeth fled, and I've...
How... When...
It was so long ago. A few years after Elizabeth of England and Catherine of France established their alliance against Spain.
What? Did you really
That was the only right...
You agree?
Yes.
Do you not...
No.
We could set you free. Let you out.
I pray for the day I'll see the sky again.
Then will you stay here?
Elizabeth told me it will not be long now. I cannot wait to feel the sweet caress of her hand on my cheek after so long. Has the time come?
Yes, Father.
Why not unleash me then? To see the sky a final time.
You already are the sky, and all its stars.
I'm not defeated, for I welcome the sword you bear, for it is mine.
You were never defeated, my lord. Farewell, Father. And to you also, Jonathan.
What do you mean?
I can't stand what I've become. This healthy carrier, as you put it. The flames will purify the poison that runs in my veins.
No! I won't allow this to happen.
I am death, Jonathan. Wherever I go, I can't stand it.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, champion of Myrddin, chosen to save England from the vampire epidemic. I could cure you.
What do you mean?
We are creatures of blood, Elizabeth. Everything about us is in our blood. With time, I could perfect the antidote William Marshall gave you. Trust me, for time is on our side.
That is a risk I cannot take, Jonathan. I won't bring another such disaster into this world.
Elizabeth, no. Trust me. I can save you.
How could I trust you, Jonathan? How could I take such a chance?
I'll stay here with you then. As long as we must, until I find a cure.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Jonathan. Despite his madness, William was strong enough to starve for centuries. I doubt we can do the same.
We will lock ourselves down then. I'll get all the material I need and I'll perform my research here with you until you're cured.
Are you mad? Who would take care of us? Who would free us if it takes decades or even more?
Old Bridget will take care of us.
You are serious, aren't you? You really are ready to do this?
I love you, Elizabeth. I can do this. Please, stay with me.
I believe you. This is crazy, but I believe you, Jonathan.
One prayer for the summoned, called by this song. Child born from darkness, whose path ye must find. Now the song is sung, and your path chosen. England is safe, for you have prevailed. I bid you farewell, my champion bittersweet. You found yourself a newer quest, and so I leave you to it. My queen sleeps once again, and I'll soon join her slumber, until alas she rises, woken by the hunger never fed.